Good morning to all my friends in the wrestling universe. Big Rob, as always. It is Saturday, April 11th, and we are 1 week away from WrestleMania 42. Man, and there's a lot to talk about coming out of SmackDown last night. And I know if you're watching this video right now, the majority of you, in the internet wrestling community all over the world, who is a fan of this business and this product, are upset, and rightfully so. Last week, with the whole situation of the phone call and it being Pat McAfee and the way things, progressed, I was pretty angry. After watching SmackDown last night, I found myself not angry. I found myself not caring, number one. And number two, I found myself sad. I found myself sad that, the business that I've loved for almost 40 years has turned into something that I don't even recognize. I was sitting there and I could hear Pat McAfee in the background. And the only thing going through my mind was, man, Hulk Andre with Gorilla Monsoon on commentary. You know, Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior at the Sky Dome, WrestleMania 6. Iconic. WrestleMania 12, Bret the Hitman Hart versus the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, for the WWF Championship. The boyhood dream has come true. Iconic call from Vince McMahon. WrestleMania 14, the Austin era has begun with Jim Ross on commentary. The Stone Cold era kicking off. Tables, ladders, and chairs. And how epic that was at WrestleMania 17, a sold out Astrodome. Unbelievable. WrestleMania 25, The Undertaker versus the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels in potentially the greatest WrestleMania match of all time. WrestleMania 28, the end of an era, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, The Undertaker. WrestleMania 31 with the heist of the century. WrestleMania 30 with the Miracle on Bourbon Street. All unbelievable pro wrestling moments. The showcase of the Immortals. The event that everybody who got into this business strived to be on. The iconic moments, the iconic, personas, iconic wrestlers. And you fast forward to present day WWE. And in the main event of WrestleMania for the WWE Championship, this match is revolving around Jelly Roll and Pat McAfee. What is going on? What is going on, man? What happened to the business that I've loved? I watched this show and I don't even recognize it. This is not professional wrestling. This is not the WWE. This does not feel iconic. This does not feel larger than life. What are we doing? I'll tell you what we're doing. We're doing this for a couple clicks and a couple highlights on ESPN Sports Center, which I don't even know if they show, this stuff on Sports Center, but that's what we're doing here. And I talked about it last week, man. The reason why we are in the situation that we are in, listen, Triple H understands the magnitude of WrestleMania. The people that now own the WWE, TKO, Area Manual, they don't understand WrestleMania. I saw a clip the other day where, after the merger happened, Dana White, who is now, who's in the Endeavor family, was talking about how he doesn't even like pro wrestling. So that's the kind of people we're dealing with right here. They don't appreciate or understand this business like you and I, the people who have tuned in for years, decades, week after week after week. And this is what we get heading into WrestleMania season. I sit there and I look at Cody Rhodes, I look at Randy Orton, I look at CM Punk, people who have bled for this business, who have dropped tears, who has dedicated their life to this business, and I feel terrible for them. This isn't what they signed up for, and they've laid it all on the line to build this business, and this is what they get heading into WrestleMania. I saw an interview yesterday with Damian Priest where he said the whole thing sucks. Good. I hope him and many other people in that locker room are saying the same thing and making it very well known. And this is much deeper than just, bad storyline, bad creative. This is a fundamental change in the way that this product is being presented to us. And that's a real problem. You removed Vince McMahon, he sold the company. That's what we all wanted, and this is what we're getting. We do not have a wrestling family running this business or understanding, what this business is, the importance of this business. And we're in for real trouble here. I can't even watch it. I mean, last night we're a week away from WrestleMania. After the McAfee segment, I turned on a Netflix show, and me and my wife watched that. A week out from WrestleMania. I am not invested in anything. I feel nothing, no emotion, and that's what this business has always been about. It's not about, celebrities. Yes, they've always been a part of the show, which is fine. I talked about it. It's great, get them involved. I mean, you look at WrestleMania a couple of years ago. Perfect example. Damian Priest, Bad Bunny, had a match. I know there was others involved. I don't remember. It was a mid-card match. Fine. Get it out of the way. Good. But in the WWE Championship match or the World Heavyweight Championship match, those two guys in those matches are big enough stars to be able to carry that show. And on top of that, WrestleMania has always sold itself. I don't need Jelly Roll out here. I don't need Pat McAfee. I don't need all his jabronis on his show, pushing WrestleMania. The true fans of professional wrestling are going to buy WrestleMania. That's what it is. And I don't know if I can continue watching this, and I'll probably get comments, stop watching. I may. And that's a real problem for the WWE because people like me, first show I went to was in 1991 with my dad at the Asbury Park Convention Center in New Jersey. I think Crush actually main evented the show, possibly. I think it was, shortly after The Undertaker debuted. But I sit there and I even thought about Taker this morning. Like, I wonder what he thinks about this product. I know they're all company guys that they toe the line, but deep down inside, he looks at this and this is not pro wrestling. I mean, universally, Cody said it last night. The WWE universe, which they don't even care about anymore. I mean, the WWE universe is dead. It's a celeb fest now. They want all this. They want it all to stop. I turned it off, and then I'm seeing later in the show with the Sami Zayn Trick Williams thing, where that could be a great story, especially if you had Carmelo Hayes in there. They have Little Yachty as the main focus. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I don't give one shit. I don't even know who that is. Who is that? Tell me a song that he has or a rap song. I don't know. But man, fundamentally, like I said, this company has changed in the WWE that we grew up loving and that we hold near and dear. Sorry guys, it doesn't exist anymore, and it's dead and gone. I said a couple weeks ago, Triple H should leave, Cody Rhodes should leave, CM Punk should leave, and he should go, see if he could buy the NWA from Billy Corgan and get that up and running. Because as long as TKO and a non-wrestling entity owns this company, this is what we're gonna get. They think wrestling's a joke. They think the WWE's a joke. Oh, throw Jelly Roll on there. Who cares? Who cares about the fans? Throw Pat McAfee on there. He's the biggest star in the show because he's on ESPN and he was in the NFL. Whatever, man. Whatever. So, sad times ahead. It's shameful. This business is in a real tough spot right now, and I don't see how it gets any better. Travis Scott last year, we thought that was a one-off situation. John Cena addressed it, Cody Rhodes addressed it. Maybe not the best idea, and us as fans were like, okay, bad booking decision. Then we roll into this year, and it's even worse. It's even worse. And they're doubling down on it. We have the surprise last night that the ticket prices are 25% off. Who cares? Sad state of affairs, man. I know there's a lot of you out there that feel the same way I do. So, I don't know, man. I'm gonna watch WrestleMania next week, but I really have to look. If I want to continue investing as much time, into this, that I have for years and years and years and years. They come out, WWE didn't come out, but we get a report yesterday that Backlash is Jelly Roll and Cody Rhodes versus Pat McAfee and Randy Orton. Great. So now we know that Randy Orton's winning the title at WrestleMania. Great job. Whoever leaked that, great job. It makes me really want to tune in. I'm looking forward to it. So I don't know. Do you guys feel the same way? Do you see the WWE fundamentally changing from what it was, and that it's no longer the company that we loved? And that, we are in for some hard times here and it's not going to get better? Let me know your thoughts, guys. Enjoy your Saturday. Don't let it stress you out too much. As always, Big Rob out.